All right, it's loading to go live soon. Where'd it go? I guess it's live on Facebook.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Get this going.
Yes, we are live. I see it. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rebecca, and I have here my husband,
JB Atkins.
Yes. And together we are Dual Dragons. And so just a little bit about us and the Healers Roundtable group again, for those who missed it yesterday. This group was actually formed within a week, 7 days, exactly. And the whole purpose of this group is to get healers together, just like the Knights of the Round Table, with the purpose to protect. And so same here, the purpose is to bring healers together with the purpose to regroup, to heal, to prepare for whatever transformations that are still to come. And so yesterday we did day 1 of the root chakra. We did some grounding. We had some conversation. We had our wonderful guest speakers, Patty, share a beautiful message from the medicine wheel, from the animals. And it was interesting, just to share a little bit of yesterday. Afterwards, I found myself watching it again because I really wanted to get the message from the medicine wheel, from the animals. And it was interesting, the first time I watched it, I got a little bit more, but I still didn't get the whole message. Then I had to rewatch it again the second time. As I'm listening to it, I fell asleep. I literally was gone for almost an hour, but then I woke up feeling rejuvenated and full of energy again. And then I got up, I washed all my crystals, I put them under the moonlight. They're getting a little bit of sun at the moment. And just to really pick up on the energy of the moon, JB and I, before we went to bed, we had our curtains open in our bedroom window, and you could just see the bright light of the full moon just shining through. And then I told JB, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to close the curtains because there's no way I can fall asleep with this bright light from the moon. So it was just really interesting, just feeling this almost like a little roller coaster ride yesterday. I went up and then I went down, and then I went up and then I went down. So yesterday it was just interesting how grounding, yes, the way it affected me yesterday. I did feel a little, like I said, at times energized, and then at times really drained and like needing to rest for a bit. And then again, energized and then needing to rest. So
a little bit, Rebecca, no, because while she was meditating, I was giving her a nice little foot massage, and I was also doing my version of processing the energy, what we did yesterday, and how we contribute, and kind of preparing for today, the next chakra, being sacral chakra. And I could sense, like, as any healer, you probably may recognize the energy flow through your clients or through your family or friend. Even if you're not intentionally trying to heal them, you just feel that energy flow. And because of our connection, I was sensing the cleanse. We were still continuing from yesterday, starting with the root chakra, and of course was finalized when we looked at the moon. And yes, it was a roller coaster for both of us, but it was like a seesaw. When she was feeling low, I was feeling upbeat, and then I was bringing her up. Then I was like going down and feeling a little low, and then she was bringing me up. And throughout the day, as we were taking care of what we needed to, among just being a healer, it's just our daily chores. It is, I can imagine some of you may have similar experiences as just mentioned, just riding the energy, really connecting to earth, through your root chakra. And now we're opening up the channel from earth through your root chakra, and of course, the sacral chakra.
Okay, so let's go ahead. It's 7:05. Let's start preparing ourselves. Everyone, sit nice with your feet flat on the ground, nice and tall. Relax your body. Take 3 deep tummy breaths.
In through your nose, out through your mouth.
And as you're taking these 3 deep breaths, I want you to visualize this beautiful orange circle turning clockwise right below your belly button in that lower abdominal area. And when you start hearing the sounds, I want you to visualize it growing even bigger, more vibrant. If you see anything that's blocking it, in every breath, blow it out. And just visualize it getting more and more clear. Take 3 deep breaths as you slowly come back. Okay. So that was our sacral bowl. sacral chakra bowl that I just played for you. Yesterday, I played the root. And so, just a little recap from yesterday. I'm Rebecca, my husband JB, and together we form Dual Dragons. We are holistic wellness consultants, also known as the Muscle Whisperers. Together we formed this beautiful team when my sister was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Before that, my experience was 10 years as a massage therapist, and it's still counting. I am licensed through the state. I'm certified, and I'm experienced in many modalities besides massage therapy. For example, Reiki, craniosacral, acupressure, pre and post pregnancy massages. Our specialty is to help our clients, facilitate them in their pain if they have chronic pain, and we give them the results that they need, that they've been looking for, that they have not been able to find. And so just a little recap from yesterday. Sometimes when our clients are able to get to that vulnerable state, most of the time we realize that a lot of their pain comes from energy blockages through their chakras or emotional trauma. And so through the chakras, I'm able to help them release and able to have them experience not having pain. And so that's been a true amazing work. And like I said yesterday, when JB and I worked on my sister, we reduced her time extremely. She opted for aggressive chemo plus our treatments that she got from us weekly. And instead of having her deal with, I believe they had said 14 to 18 months of chemo, she only did September, October, November, December. 4 months. That's all she did. And ever since then, she's been cancer free. So that's a little bit of how we started and what we do. And the purpose of us coming together is during COVID, we found ourselves having to stop and not be able to reach out to our clients for a while. We were all placed in quarantine. And that was really hard for us, especially when there's a lot of people still dealing with chronic pain, not being able to touch people, not being able to help them manage their pain. And so it kind of brought me down as a healer, like what's going to happen next. And so COVID was a blessing where it helped me to stop and realize that as a healer, I needed healing too. I needed to stop and take that moment for myself. And my clients, when we were ready to get back to them, they were ready to receive my healing, Jonathan's healing, at a better frequency, at a better vibration. So today we're talking about sacral chakra. And yesterday, I was really meditating on this chakra. Like, what does it mean? I was reading all the information here about where it says if you're balanced, you feel creativity, joy, sexuality, healthy sex life, prosperity, patience, fertility, and pleasure. And I have to say, this chakra has always been, I feel like this one shines bright in me. Like I've never felt guilty. Shyness in the contrary. Whenever someone would try to make me feel guilty, I'd be like, that's not my emotion. Irresponsible, yes, maybe in my teenage years. Allergies, though, came up. And I do have food allergies. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I don't quite have an eating disorder, but I do have an eating dysfunction. And a little bit of that, it comes really from my mother. I was raised in this very hardcore Mexican culture household where their thinking of eating was eating all day long. It was like hometown buffet in my house. And I was this really skinny, thin little girl. You know, I could still see my little girl, my little me. But I was always sick from my stomach. You know, I had stomach issues. And my eating dysfunction formed every time my mom would force feed me. And she would make me eat. I had to eat. And I still remember the days where I would be walking to school and just feeling this heaviness in my body, like I couldn't function. And halfway down the road, I didn't even have to force, like, you know how some people force themselves to vomit? It would just all come out because I was not digesting anymore. I was suffering from severe constipation. I was not digesting. I had gone to the hospital 3 times throughout my lifetime at age 8, 12, and 15 with severe gastritis, stomach infection, where they had to clean me out and pump my stomach to be able to help me, you know, function again. So when I think about that, I thought about, I really meditated on that when that came up. And was it really my emotion that I was healing or my mother's? You know, because we come, that same sacral chakra is in that same area where we grow in our mother's womb. You know, it's that creativity of being able to reproduce, the fertility, and we're growing inside that womb. And whatever my mother experienced during that time is what I was born into, those emotions. You know, you start creating these beautiful emotions. I had to watch, I really love this movie. I don't know if anyone have you guys seen this movie? It's Inside Out. It's a Disney movie, very well made movie. It talks all about your emotions, how they're formed, how you experience life through these emotions. So I watched it last night again, just kind of like trying to take my little me, that little Rebecca, back to that time to heal from that and be able to say whatever emotions my mother was going through, those were hers and not mine to carry. And so that helped me to prepare for today. What I did yesterday was for today. And then whatever I'm doing today will be for tomorrow.
And for
JB.
my story, as I like to share, definitely took in a lot, similar to Rebecca. As I was also meditating and tapping into my inner child, and where some of the energy that I was carrying, even when I went through the military, I would be working out, the intense workout that I put us through, yet I still had this layer of inflammation or fat, as some people would say, and it would never go away. I couldn't get a six pack. And even recently, eating healthy, more greens, less meat, working out daily, it's not going away until she brought it to my awareness. We really got to tap into this aspect. There's other part that most people are not, whether trained or educated in, that we call the chakras. And it wasn't until I was really focusing on each chakra, and especially the sacral chakra, about growing that orange energy, making it flow more efficient, making it more vibrant, and then recognizing each of the unbalance, each of the emotions to address it. Okay, is this, like you said, is this mine or was this my mother's? Was this my father's? Was this someone else's imprint onto me and I just bought it and say, well, oh well, this is me. And when I was learning to kind of peel the layer, the reference of the onion, and kind of give back those layers of the onions to who they belong to, and really what is mine? What is my lesson? What is my seed that I need to blossom. Recently, the fat or the layer that was inflamed in my body is starting to dissipate. I'm starting to see more fine. And I'm not talking about you got to do this to get more fit or more trim. This was my journey to address this chakra, to align myself to who I was meant to be, so that I could have a much fluid flow between my roots, the earth, this sacral chakra, and obviously myself and my emotions. And which lead us to this aspect of day 2, the emotions. Are we letting the emotions overrun or overpower our life, our work, and relationships? Are they even yours? Or are you so in tune to other people because you're so connected with them and haven't applied Ho'oponopono to cut the cord to return their emotions? What is it that you need to focus on so that you can address them?
Yes. So yeah, it was really interesting thinking about emotions, and I actually ended up getting a call last night. Like I mentioned yesterday, my family's in Vegas, and there was a lot of emotions running high over there. They were in Vegas, they did a tour, they actually walked through the field and experienced all these emotions, remembering their steps, where they ran, where they got stuck, what they had to do, break down a fence, jump over a fence just to get away. And they shared a little bit about those emotions, how, you know, now looking back, it was a hard experience for them to experience those emotions. It's still very fresh. And I reached out to another friend of mine, because it was not only my family, but a close friend of mine, a colleague. She lost her father, and her sister lost her fiance. And so she was like, it doesn't feel like it gets any better any day. They keep saying it will get better, and I don't feel it. And I told her, I'm all like, you're just meant to embrace it. You know, it's not about getting better, it's embracing it and being able just to make peace with it. So from here, I also want to introduce Erica. Erica's our guest speaker. She specializes in hypnotherapy. She's a certified trainer, NLP coach. She also does Reiki. She also does these beautiful sound therapy sessions, you know, and she's all about this topic. So when I reached out to her and I asked her, will you be my guest speaker for this? She's like, oh, that's my topic. That's my favorite. So I was so excited. She right away jumped on it. Like, yes, I'm so excited to be part of this, and I definitely want to speak. I'm just going to escape so I could see. Stop sharing. So that way I could see everybody.
Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing?
Good
I see some beautiful faces here. It is quite an honor to be here and be sharing a little bit of, when I say my knowledge, a little bit of everything that I have learned in a little bit of time. This subject is, I want to say, there's a lot of information regarding this beautiful and amazing chakra. I just want to thank the Duo Dragons for having us and putting this together. This is so special. This is so beautiful. In the midst of everything that is going on, us, the people that I want to consider as facilitators, the guides, some of us identify with the healing arts, right? How do we step into the collective? How do we step into that presence for everyone to know that it doesn't have to be this balance? I hear a lot of stories. Yesterday, I think I listened to the webinar twice, only because I couldn't get enough. Patty had those beautiful stories, and also Shamari, Sea of the Wisdom. That was it was beautiful listening to you guys, and I picked up a lot of little things from you guys yesterday, and every night before I go to bed, I like to wrap my day with a little circle where I can put all the healing and of the collective, not only my own, as the duo of dragons were saying. Sometimes we don't know what's part of us and what's part of others until we actually drop into that essence and we start questioning, right? Um, However, there's like so much of the collective, and we are, in a sense, not only the immediate systems, but also the outer systems. And we're not even talking about the collective within the family systems, our friend circles, and we bring in all the emotions from now even the country and the world, and even more the universe. However, as long as I feel that we drop into our core essence, the present moment, we can actually neutralize a lot of those feelings. I hear a lot about negative feelings, positive feelings, and I would like to invite you guys to recognize that maybe when you are with your clients, the people that you're facilitating, or maybe just your presence, always bringing your energy up. Ideally, it would be to bring in the place of love, pure love. A lot of people can really relate to love because they feel that they have not felt loved. However, I like to teach people how to recognize love versus pure love and bring in that gratitude, because you already know that that could be or is one of the highest vibration within our body systems. And we talk about balancing all the chakras. When we bring in pure love and we are in the present moment, in the heart center, in that space, that's when we automatically bring in everything. We talk about soul retrievals. We talk about the lower emotions, where I like not to name them negative emotions, but lower emotions, only because there's so much people are desensitized of what is negative. And as we begin to clean up our language and invite people to resonate with what is the lower emotional versus the higher, then I feel that people begin to heal, even by your presence, by your language, without them even recognize that in the, I want to say, the critical mind. Our words represent part of the communication. Our body language represent a percentage of our communication. However, also our unconscious mind, the vibration of our words, how we deal with our triggers, that people pick up on that. People pick up on our facial expressions, body language, the calmness of us. And they say that the mind cannot recognize the negative, right? Which is the don't, can't, won't, right? And does the positive. So just cleaning up the language within us, because I want to share something with you that is, I think, one of the most powerful things for ourselves is the word manipulation. Let's talk about that. A lot of people talk about manipulation as if it's something outside of ourselves, right? They're manipulating us, and we've been manipulated, and things like that. But the thing that we haven't recognized is that 24/7, 24/7, we are manipulating our own selves, our thoughts, and everything that we do. It's because we are operating either in a positive way, right, in a higher realm way, or in the lower emotion realms. So the real question is, how do we ourselves manipulate our everyday living? Are we from a place of higher consciousness? And I'm talking about you guys, us. We're talking about us where we help facilitate all these beautiful and amazing meditations. And then we close everything down. And what do we do with ourselves? Where are we? How do we do every day? How do we recognize? Because you already know what love and light means, right? Light means wisdom. How do we transmit the wisdom, the light? Are those meaningful words, or are those really words without meaning? We have to drop in ourselves, we have to embody that in order for us to transmit that. The, the tranquility, the love, the gratitude. Bring that in. Feel it, sense it, know it. Imagine that. And as you do so, then you can have those higher vibrations. Sit with your client, be present. Rebecca said something beautiful earlier, talking about how do we deal with the people that we are working on helping, right? How do we? They're not experiencing our touch or guidance. However, if we, us as facilitators, and I would like to, I'm going to invite you to start thinking of everyone that you see, everyone that you know of, your clients, your kids, your family, everyone in your systems as healers. You are your own healer. I hear that a lot. However, we have to recognize, excuse me, let me clean that up a little bit. Let's go ahead and know that we are our own healer, and we are the pillar for them to lean on and recognize their light, because they are healers too. Bring that up into your essence. And just like this, it's a pillar, is a strength. I like to teach to my students, instruments are beautiful, things are amazing. We love earth, that's why we gravitate to it, right? Especially those who have been here different lifetimes, life paths, right? On earth. This is part of earth. This is not going anywhere. We go outside and we are already touching those beautiful grounding and beautiful stones, specimens, the dirt. However, what happens if we don't have those tools? That's when we panic. That's when we start to think that everything's outside of us. if you could invite your clients to recognize that, you know what, these are beautiful, these are amazing, they feel good, because they are something that we can anchor, and that they are also something that we can maybe be as reminders of what we like to embody. However, we don't have to have that, because everything's within. Everything's within. We are our symphony. Sound. I play sound. I cannot get enough. We are sound and light. Wisdom. Remember that. Light is wisdom. It's not light. That's why sometimes when we get all these information, all these downloads, it's like turning on, excuse my little kitty, it's like turning on a light. It's because it's wisdom, it's information. If we can just recognize and guide our clients to also get into that mentality, so that way they can be themselves and they can be their own pillar when no one's around. We don't know what is ahead. We don't know what's going to happen. However, if we anchor that on them when we're together, then they will remember you. It's like, okay, you know what? That's right. I might not have this and that, but you know what? I'm going to honor myself. I'm going to begin and recognize love. And it's not the love that everybody thinks. It's just getting to a place where we recognize that everything's love. Every thought, everyone, every earthling is love. And if we can just recognize that, even when we see or we think that we see evil, it's also coming from a good place. It's how our triggers come up and we interpret all of that. That's it. And if we are able to recognize that and see both spectrums, then guess what? Triggers will disarm, the stressors will move away, and you will drop into the wisdom. And if you can teach that, I invite you to explore that within you. So that way, when you are with the people that need for you to be their pillar, rather than their healer, because you are not their healer. Each and every one of them is their own healer. And I haven't seen any client, anyone, even animals, they're healers. That's why we love to be so close to them. You see this beautiful Instagram pages, social media pages where there's a lot of animals, plants, and they have so many likes because they're healers and they're strong pillars and they're always drop into the presence no matter what. And we gravitate to that. So with that said, just remember, I'm going to invite you to just for today, just for now, to drop a little bit of that negative language away from you and maybe start thinking more of what are the lower emotions? What are the medium emotions? What are the higher emotions? And just remember this. Just remember this. How do we know what is good when we haven't experienced the bad? That's the duality. How do we know when everything's always so good? How do we know when it's bad? That's why there's all this spectrum of emotions for us to experience and know where we, not meaning you, us individually, where do we want to live? What is it that we need to learn from those experiences in order for us to move into our expression or creativity or evolution? We talk about healing. Guess what? We are healed. We just need to express. We talk about always, just remember, if you're always thinking in terms of healing, healing, healing is a process. How about we start thinking in terms of wholeness, wellness, movement, honoring us, so that way we can honor others, filling up our cup so we have more than enough for everyone else. When you start thinking in terms of that for you, you will begin to see shifts and changes in the outside world. We cannot expect others to change if we haven't changed that in terms of ourselves. If we can teach that to each and every one of our clients, it's like, you know what? You do not need me. As long as you fill your space with love and gratitude and do your practice every day, every day, every day. Change your way of living. There's something that is very interesting. We expect change, but we never really make changes. So, and we expect everything to be outside of us. In my hypnosis classes, in my hypnosis practice, people sometimes come with the expectation that I am going to do something to them. And then I have to deconstruct that a little bit and say, you know what, actually, everything in here, you're going to do yourself. There's nothing that I can do that you're not willing to do. There's nothing that I can do or say if you decide not to. And it is very interesting how people eclipse and they begin to do their own change. What is it that is not working in your life? Maybe the way of eating, maybe the way in movement. We're talking about we're talking about creativity, being stuck. You know what? We're not stuck. We're just diminishing that space within us. Because guess what? All of our chakras, they're always moving. Otherwise, we're not here. Otherwise, we're not here. So let's begin. I invite you to begin to think there's no blockages. We're just diminishing that part of ourselves. And one more thing, and I'm talking about this beautiful group. We cannot cut anything either. We transmute, we balance, and we flow. Sound, love, beauty, gratitude. Drop into that essence, guys. Drop into that space. Think of terms of gratitude. We cannot cut anything. How do we cut? No, we flow. It's energy. It's different levels of energy. Okay? Remember that. Transmute that with love and gratitude. Bring in that presence. And remember, the lighter we feel, the better we are. The lighter we feel, the better we are. Drop into your heart space. And then from there, zero ground, zero heart, zero ground, zero source. You are done. It only takes one decision, 1 second. We're talking about chakras. Yes, we can work the subject and it's endless. Look who I brought. I brought all these beautiful, but just for you guys, to realize and recognize that beauty within you. So for now, you guys have any questions? I can go on forever. But
I love when you talk. That's why they want to stop you. I'm like, it's so good.
Again, I just looked at him. I'm like, oh my gosh.
No, but you really brought on a lot more of little details that I didn't think about. Like, oh, that's right. Like our essence. What we are of. It's that beauty within us that we forget about. We're so focused on, oh, look at that, or look at this, and like what Patty said yesterday, the squirrel. Like we're like looking at all these shiny objects, we get so distracted,
Right.
and we never take that time to just look in the mirror and just have that gratitude of that inner essence within us. We're so eager to find it somewhere else.
Right. And one more thing that I would like to invite you to begin to remind yourself, okay? Because we're talking about our, and as my trainers here that I have, that I see, everything that our unconscious mind feeds us is part of our inner world, our inner representation. What I want to say, what fear might mean to somebody might not be the same as for us. We tend to do umbrellas. And under that umbrella, we just talk in everything, right? If we can just begin to identify these powerful words, these powerful emotions, so what is really fear represent in my life, and not what is for Duo Dragons or for Patty. What is fear for me? What does that represent for me? And just allow what is to come up. You know what? Maybe that's not actually fear, actually. That could be something else. And as long as you drop into that presence, and guess what? You will not you will not, believe it, you will not get triggered, because you drop into that present moment. You're not going to bring in the past, right? The projection of the past. And when you're in the present moment, you're not in the future, meaning no past, which is depression, the lower realm, or the future, which is anxiety. So I'm going to invite you guys to, whenever you see in the news, whatever you see in the collective, hold space for them by dropping into that present moment. The minute you buy into the anxiety, into the victimhood of everyone else, then we mesh in there. Light, when you say, I am gratitude, I am love, I am light, what you're really saying is, I am in the higher realms and I am wisdom. Embody that, feel it, know it. So that way your unconscious mind recognizes that. And the minute that recognizes that, it only takes a split second to make that decision to drop into that space. And you're done. I am well, I am whole, I am me. I am me. I am Erika. I am Rebecca. I am Patty. See? Well, no, I am not. However, it's just an example. You bring in your wellness, your wholeness, and that's how you also bring in all the little pieces of you, because you're calling with your name. That is very strong because it's unique to you. It's your imprint. You're calling your whole essence into that alignment. I'm going to invite everyone to just for a second, go ahead and close your eyes. Let's take a deep inhale in through the nose. And as you inhale through the nose, take another inhale in, a little bit more, another one, and really connect with whatever your mind gives you that represents the higher realms. And with the exhale, drop that space into your heart center and expand with a breath. And begin to recognize, feel, sense, imagine, where is the present moment for you? Where do you feel it? Where do you see it? Where do you know it? Where is it? And just allow either one of your hands to come up and touch that space. Is it inside of you, outside of you? Anchor that with your hand. Some people feel it outside, in the back, in the front, wherever that might be. Anchor that. The more you know where your present moment is in your time, in your inner time, in your inner compass, the easier that it will be for you to drop into that space. And once you have that, just take another deep inhale in. And with the exhale, you are going to exhale from that space. Wherever the present moment is for you, exhale from that space and expand from that space. Expand, 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 expand. And as soon as you're ready, you can just open your eyes.
Thank you so much, Erica. Just to respect people's time and schedule, we apologize for not opening up the discussion for questions for Erica, but we were going to do our next little exercise, which is amazing technique called Ho'oponopono. And from there, we'll hold space afterwards if you want to stick around to ask Erica if she has time, any questions, or just to chit chat amongst the other healers. So I did give permission for you guys to unmute yourself if you want to hear your voice interact. If not, I would be just saying the 4 phrases of I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And for those who have any kind of essence or, you're going to say something, Rebecca?
No, I'm waiting.
Okay. Whether you're in a sage or if you have any kind of medallion or token you want to hold on to help you kind of clear. Ho'oponopono is an ancient saying that helps you, which translates to make right twice. So this wonderful self-forgiveness technique, and we're about to begin. Go ahead, take a deep breath. Second breath, we're gonna hold. We're gonna listen to our heartbeat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. Third deep breath. And release. Now breathe your normal breath pace. Repeat after me. I love you.
I love you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I release you.
I release you.
I accept you.
I accept you.
Take a nice deep breath. Exhale. Shake it out. You stand up, shake it off, do a little shake. Now, as we come to the top of the hour, I'll open this up to everyone's able to unmute yourself if you'd like to share a little something what you took from this, any little tidbits that came up, anything that you may like to contribute to the group. We really appreciate yourself sharing, or if you could stay afterwards and we'll stop recording shortly so that you may go about your day. Yes, Patty?
I'm Patty Mays, CEO at Unit of Soul, Holistic Business Life Coach. And I want to say thank you so much to Rebecca and JB and all of you who have attended, and especially Erica. Segura, I'm so happy to meet you today. And the topic that I'm walking away with is the manipulation. I'd like to talk more with you about the manipulation. What I always have said, my hashtag is for opportunity from adversity. Like, see the gift, see the silver lining, and also what am I going to do today for tomorrow? And when I heard the topic manipulation, it reminded me of when I went through adversity. And it wasn't so much the act as much as it was the seduction and the manipulation that got me there. And so that was a beautiful way to express how we are manipulating 24 hours a day. So just wanted to say thank you and also acknowledge you for that. I have goosebumps all over my body right now. It's beautiful. Beautiful today. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to share?
I would like to share something. First of all, we are Alice and Michael, and we are the founders of Samadhi Sea of Wisdom Meditation Online School, here serving humbly from our hearts out of Yuma, Arizona, for all over the world. And we just thank you so much, Rebecca, JB, everybody here, Patty. We have the pleasure of knowing you all personally, and we have the honor to share this space with people that we're meeting, like Patty said, like Erica. Thank you so much, Erica, because I love that you grounded it in the center. I love that you brought it to the wholeness of who we are, because that's what it's truly, truly about, is that. Anyways, so what I wanted to say is this, because yesterday we had an experience that I went through a crisis. It was a very, let's just say, minor traumatic crisis. And the thing about it is I because we practice this so much, I love that you said that when you embody it, it's like the unconscious mind picks it up. And that unconscious mind, I started hyperventilating. I almost even lost my sense of self because I was in so much crisis in the moment. And then the training kicked in, and it was more powerful than the trauma, it was more powerful than the crisis. And what I was doing when I was hyperventilating, I said, wait a minute, breathe. And I started breathing, and then I realized that I'm safe. I mean, yeah, I was going through a crisis in the moment. And for those of you that don't know, I burned my hand pretty bad yesterday. And as I was going through this crisis, I reminded myself what I remind our students. Like, even if it's a small little problem, it's like we think that we're in this, fear of death kind of situation. And what I love that you mentioned is that, there's only lower and higher, because all there's frequencies. So when we remind ourselves, look, I'm not in danger, if you're actually not in danger, of course. But really, our brains think we're in danger. Our brains think that we're in a crisis, when really we're safe. I mean, we're in our own home some of the times, right? We're better than safe. And that's what I was doing to myself. I was like, wait a minute, Michael, you're safe. Yeah, you're in pain right now. This hurts like very much. But remind yourself that right now you're safe. You're okay. And what this does to the body, it reminds it that it's whole, like you said. It has everything it needs inside of it. And
Right here.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Before you continue, I want to thank everyone on Facebook for joining us live. And if you'd like to experience this, please click on the link and join us live, because now we're going to be closing off. So those who have their schedule could enjoy your day. And for those who want to stay, we'll hold the space for up to 20 more minutes. Thank you so much on Facebook. Until next time.